Adrenal recoders, welcome, where we're bringing our whole adrenal recode community together to creating emotional mastery from within. Tammera and I have been so excited to reconnect with you on this specific topic because all of our quarterly webinars thus far have been with Jeannie. And while we touch base on emotional mastery, we're always focusing on the physical. And we're moving into a time in humanity where the emotional is becoming almost more important than the physical. I mean, we need both, but you can gain and garner balance many ways, right? And we're living in a world in completely unprecedented time. Things are quite interesting depending on how you view them. And so we want to kind of put our money where our mouth is, so to speak, and really incorporate in a deeper way all the tools that we teach you in the Creating Emotional Mastery, the part 2 of the Adrenal Recode, and help you in real time, like a workshop, to create that emotional mastery and have a whole new process and all new tools that you can go back to every single day so that you are getting better and better and stronger and more powerful, more filled with light every single day. For those of you that tune in, and maybe if you didn't remember Tammera, I just want to give you a little refresh on this magnificent woman that you are looking at. She has 20 years experience in the healing arts. Tammera is, she's got her master's in counseling and psychology. She has coached thousands of clients. She worked for Tony Robbins for 15 years. She has worked for various other organizations, including functional medicine organizations, and helping us develop the limiting beliefs part of the adrenal recode. And she is brilliant. She's an emotion code therapist. I can't begin to express the level of value that she has brought to my life. I've probably done 24 emotion code therapy sessions with her, because what's happening in the world right now, the way that it's always been is, in order to achieve our full power, we have to let go of, we don't have to become anything different. We have to let go of everything that is not us, which is programming, conditioning, trauma, the bad things that have happened to us, right? We have to let go of everything that's not us. And then we get to that pure divine spark that is in each and every one of us. And we get to live without fear in our light, making choices that we otherwise wouldn't make because we don't have the insecurities or the negative feelings. And so we're so blessed to have Tammera be part of the Adrenal Recode and just part of our whole journey community. And I'm so grateful for the work you do and who you are. Thank you, Tammera.
Oh, thank you, Krista. You're so empowering. Wow, inspirational. Thank you.
So are you. So are you. It's like we're all here to help everybody. We're all just walking each other home, right? I love that statement. And that's what we're here to help you all do. So we've got Carolyn's back from the UK, and Aleda, another Floridian, Bronwyn from New Zealand. We're so happy that you're here this morning. Good. We're pulling everybody together from around the world, and I'm going to just kind of go through our flow. So really what we're here to do today, and I think this webinar is long overdue because we haven't really deeply checked in on all of you about how you have experienced the world situation for the last 2 years, because it has been so intense. And so I want to know, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be grounding, and Tammera's going to lead us through a circular breathing technique that you can do in the car before you get in and see the kids or the husband or the wife, right? You can do it before a big meeting. You can do it when you have an argument with someone, or something someone says triggers you. You know, you have these repeating thoughts that can't stop. Know that we are out of our power if we are not grounded. So first base to anything in life always is to get grounded. And it's going to be a very simple technique that we can use. And then we're going to move into the emotional freedom technique. And that's going to be something that you can go through time and time again to release trapped negative emotions, especially if you're feeling an emotion so much you can't move forward, whether that's anxiety or depression or fear. And then we're going to start integrating positive emotions to replace them. And this is going to be part of a bigger 3-part series that we're developing for you so that it stacks up in an ascension process, if you will, to raise your vibration, elevate your consciousness, because my perspective is there is not a way through the world situation per se. It's a way to rise above it so that you have conscious choice how you want to live your life and how you want to interact with the world at large. Okay, this is what I'm asking for you. And I think only maybe 15 of you have typed in the chat. But what we want to know from you is what have been the 3 most unpleasant emotions that you have experienced since the onset of the pandemic 2 years ago? Because what has happened is however you started feeling and experiencing things with the pandemic, it's something that's already been living inside of you that maybe didn't get enough street cred, right? Or enough attention. So now all of a sudden it comes without. And so I just want to give you like a brief background where I'm coming from here, in that my whole plan for my professional career 20-something years ago was to become a diplomat. I was ready to get my master's in international peace and conflict resolution. All I wanted to do was contribute to world peace because I couldn't understand why we couldn't have it, right? I was that hippie in college. And if you're not going to use your life force to make a difference, what's the point, right? And so I was traveling around the world thinking I was going back to grad school. It was during our second war with Iraq. And I was watching all of these TVs from all of these different media in these countries. And then I really started to understand how much narratives were out there, how much propaganda was out there. And at the same time, I was reading a book by a philosopher named Krishnamurti called On God. And it said, unless the individual can understand the total process of himself and unite from within himself, there will never be peace in the world. And that combination of what I was reading, the philosophy, and the experience made me jump ship on a career path that I thought was perfect for me. And then I found nutrition, right? I call it like God coming in the back door. And I changed everything about my health. I got off caffeine. I got off alcohol. I was a total sugar junkie, right? Talk about thyroid, adrenal, candida, out the wazoo. I cleaned up everything, and I used to have so much anxiety and be easily irritated and frustrated. And I cleaned up everything, and my whole experience of life shifted. I was calm. I was grounded. I was at peace. And this level of peace that was like unshakable based upon external circumstances. And that was it for me, where I said, okay, this looks to the outside world that I'm taking a 180, but I'm not. We have to do this one person at a time in order to unite within yourself so there's peace in the world. I mean, people were, the barista at Starbucks would comment, oh, your aura is so peaceful. Like, this is in New Jersey where people did not talk like that, right? So it's palpable. And that's all that we are responsible for, is our own experience of life. When we work to eliminate codependency, we work to be healthy empaths in the adrenal recode, we work to get to the midpoint of integrity and right accountability. And that is owning your role, owning your emotional state, being very clear with yourself, very honest with yourself in any given moment in time, and using your tools to reparent yourself, to ground yourself, to be your own best friend. And that's what this series is about. And you have to trust that you were drawn here for a very specific reason, because the world is going through the most powerful ascension process that there has ever been. And we are so lucky, unbelievably lucky, to be on the planet at this time. I mean, it is the greatest gift that I have chills. And if you can see it that way, your whole life will open up in a different way, I promise. All right, what emotions are you seeing here, Tammera, from people?
Definitely fear, anxiety, uncertainty, and anger. Frustration seem to be kind of rising to the top.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people, Karen, letting go of anger and toxic relationships. fear, sadness, a sense of loss. Okay. I think grief has to be an emotion that we clear, because we've all experienced grief. I mean, to live in a world that's so polarized, right? There's so much grief that we all carry with that. So fear and okay, Bronwyn saying fear, insecurity, and anger. Okay. So I think fear. Tammera, what do you think? Okay. Of grief and sadness, right? Grief is a deeper emotion of sadness, a deeper gradient. So if we do grief, then we cover sadness, right?
Okay.
And if we do fear, then we cover
anxiety
and insecurity, right? So here's what I want you all to do. I want you to write down your 3, because we're going to pick 3 for the group. And if it doesn't resonate with you, if it's not just fear and you'd rather work on anxiety, Tammera was saying, we're talking before the webinar, rank the level of the trigger, rank the emotion for the level of intensity on a scale of 1 to 10. So write your 3 most prominent emotions down and then rank them on a scale of 1 to 10. And if you haven't put your emotions in here yet, then you can go ahead and you can start ranking them. So fear, grief covers sadness. Fear covers anxiety and insecurity, right? Okay, grief covers sadness. Okay, what else do you think? Janelle, yeah, stress from kids in and out of school, right? Yeah, overwhelm. I think a lot of parents with the kids in the school were overwhelmed on our entire day-to-day of life. We're overwhelmed on protecting our kids from the experience they're going through. Vaccine shaming, okay? Yeah, very frustrating part. Judgment is what it is. And so by making ourselves, speaking of light, we are immune to judgment. People will judge us, but it doesn't matter. Okay. That's where we want you to get to. I'm at a point in my life where I couldn't care less if people like me or not. Right. I care if I like me. I care if my evolved friends like me. I care if my child and my dog like me. That's about it, because I will always choose authenticity over anything else. And everybody writes their resolutions down in the new year, everything that they want. But what do we all really want? We want fulfillment and we want alignment. Because if we have those 2 things, we have everything else in the world. So that's what we're going to work to co-create here together as a community. And the collective energy has never been more powerful. So by all of us using our individual power to move through these emotions, we're doing a great service for humanity. So I want all of you to put down your pens and just fully be here now. Be fully in this present moment. Turn everything else off. And let's do this breathing exercise together so that we can ground and be present enough to then clear these emotions. Okay?
All right. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you everybody for trusting me and showing up so present and engaged. I love it. And just vulnerable and sharing what's happening for you. So, one of the fastest ways that we can manage our fear and then change an emotional state, whether that's a draining emotion like anxiety or irritation or anger, is through our breath. So breathing can calm down that, like, Krista was saying, our central nervous system, our fear centers of our brain, help move us out of fight or flight, and then balance our mind and our emotions. So it kind of creates that pause for us to be able to respond to challenges or situations in our life so we don't feel so reactive, and we can be more resilient as well. So there's many, many great breath techniques. And I thought I would just bring one that's really simple. Like Krista said, we can do it anytime, anywhere. And it's called 4 square breathing or box breathing. And it kind of uses the image of like a box. So you're going to be inhaling for the count of 4 through your nose, and I'll guide you through it. So inhale slowly through the count of 4 through your nose. Then you're going to hold it at the top in your chest for a count of 4. And then you're going to purse your lips and exhale through your mouth, kind of like you're breathing through a straw for the count of 4. And then you're going to hold at the bottom. So kind of, the lower belly for the count of 4. So inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Okay. So if you just want to Maybe do a deep exhale, maybe shake your body out.
Can I offer quickly that you may want to put one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, because sometimes physical touch is very grounding.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you. So feeling that hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, just do a body scan, maybe feel your legs, maybe your feet on the ground. And then let's take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Purse your lips and exhale slowly through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hold at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do 5 rounds of breath. So we're going to repeat the cycle. So breathing in slowly through your nose. Love, peace, calm, clarity. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3. Purse your lips and exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. The breath at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's repeat. Breathing in. Love, clarity, peace, calm. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out. Anger, frustration, stress. Hold at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's breathe in one more time. Breathing in slowly through your nose. Love, clarity, gratitude, peace. Hold at the 1, 2, 3, 4. Purse your lips and exhale any anxiety, stress, frustration, fear. Then hold at the bottom. 1, 2, 4. And then keeping that hand on your heart, maybe close your eyes and return to like a normal breath. It might be still longer, like 4 to 5 counts, but just focus the energy on your heart. So kind of breathing in through your heart and your chest, breathing out through your heart and your chest. Just find that smooth, easy rhythm. And while you're in your heart, maybe think of a time, maybe that you felt appreciation for someone or something. Maybe it was a time of love or care for someone in your life, or a pet. Or maybe it was experiencing beauty in nature. Or maybe it was an accomplishment or a project, something that was really meaningful or fulfilling. And just hold and anchor that regenerative feeling in your heart, continuing to focus with that heart-focused breathing. Just breathing in through your heart and out through your heart. And then just give thanks to your body, to your breath, to your heart, for all that they do for you throughout the day. And then just maybe do a little body scan. Notice how you feel after just a few rounds of breath, focusing on your heart, a regenerative feeling. See if you feel more grounded or centered or have more space to respond. If you feel more calm or a sense of ease.
It's beautiful. How's everybody feeling? We feel a little bit different than when we got on. It's really grounding. I always add in, and I've been doing this for years, and there's a grounding audio inside of the Adrenal Recode and the Emotional Mastery where you, as you're breathing, you feel grounding, like you feel like roots growing from your feet deep into the center of the earth. And you feel clearing yourself of all other emotions that are not your own. And then you kind of imagine your crown opening up where you're connected to heaven, to something higher while you're grounded. And there's this beautiful like amber protection light around you. So you can work that in. Good. Calmer. Yvonne, Kelly Jean, peaceful, more centered, more grounded. Karen, a bit calmer. Every little bit matters. Now, if you did this a couple of times a day, it really stacks up. It clicks you into parasympathetic dominance. I also want you to be looking, Suzanne did that meditation. I want you to be looking throughout your day, just kind of tune yourself into what I call parasympathetic moments, right? Mm. And what a parasympathetic moment is, let's say this morning I took my dog and my son to the park, and I'm just watching the dog meeting another dog, jumping around, playing, having the best time. My son's swinging and laughing, totally present to all the joy they're experiencing, right? Parasympathetic moment. Or you catch the moon, you catch the sunrise, the sunset. Nature creates all the parasympathetic that we need. So if you've had a busy day, you're on the computer, you're on the phone, you're going back to back, nature is a wonderful way to create these parasympathetic moments. When I was really traveling a lot, speaking a lot, in and out of hotels, even in Vegas, I'd find a koi pond in the lobby of the hotel, right? And go sit by that and create a parasympathetic moment. And looking for those, it doesn't have to be, it alleviates the burden of needing to find time. So I want to share this with you before we jump in to clearing our emotions, of where I was talking about how where emotions start. So you can see this list of emotions, and Chris Bradley, who is an emotional mastery coach, part of the Recode, she texted this to me this morning. She couldn't be here. And it says, go beyond the obvious to identify exactly what you're feeling. So you may want to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to include the graphic in the follow-up email when I send this out, to really become your own best friend. So the idea of reparenting, giving yourself what you need that maybe you didn't get in childhood, or things you don't get from your partner or from your friends, it's up to us to give those things to ourselves. And it's up to us to fully see ourselves, understand ourselves, nurture ourselves. And then the external world will start reflecting that. So when you were saying, okay, what is it that you feel? Excuse me. And so sadness, right? These are all gradients of sadness. And so we're going to be working on all of these emotions. When we're talking about fear or anxiety, right? We're going to work on all of these. This could be being vulnerable to be fully loved, right? Part of fear is being confused. We talked about the fight, flight, or freeze, bewildered, skeptical, worried, cautious. And we want to flip to the positive side, like the positive experience of being cautious is being discerning, right? It's like you get the most positive result, but without the negative emotion, right? And so, right, like nervousness could be excitement. It depends on how you color it. So if we can really start to train our nervous system to move to this side and not in a sweep it under the carpet kind of a way, that's when our external experience of life changes and we become in the flow, and we stop having to push the rock up the hill, and things just come to us, and we really get to be present and enjoy our lives. So we're going to move into doing EFT, emotional freedom technique, and we're going to work on anxiety and fear. We're going to work on grief and sadness, and we're going to work on anger, frustration, resentment, being easily irritated. We're going to work on these emotions. And we'll be doing this every time when we kick off our new Creating Emotional Mastery series. So we're going to constantly be removing layers that are not you, so that all that beautiful authenticity that who you are can rise to the surface, and you can lead with that in your life. So you were given a handout on EFT, and that was in the email that went out. And if you don't have it, then I'm going to pull it up now and you can follow along, and I'm going to go off camera and let Tammera I'm going to let Tammera, see if can you still see my screen, Tammera, that I went off camera?
I can see you screen shared.
Yeah, EFT.
Can
you see where it says tapping sequence?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you take it away, explaining tapping, and maybe a little bit about how you've used this and the emotion code with your clients, with thousands of clients. And then we'll move into releasing the 3: fear, grief, and anger.
All right. And I noticed like Vicky loves EFT. So I realize this might not be new for some of you, but I'm just going to do a setup in case it is new for some. So EFT is basically the emotional freedom technique. It's often called tapping. And really, it's just a stress release technique that can help regulate the nervous system and resolve, different issues, whether it's physical, mental, emotional. And it combines the principles of like Chinese acupressure, uses those energy pathways that are called meridians, and psychology. So when we tap on these meridian endpoints that I'm going to show you, it's similar to like acupuncture, uses a needle to kind of release that stagnant energy. Acupressure uses pressure. We're going to use tapping plus addressing the emotional component, what's causing the emotional upset, to release that intense charge. And then also what it does is it sends calming signal to the brain and kind of releases those calming chemicals so we can come back to a more resourceful, grounded state. So just to kind of set you up, we're going to focus temporarily on the charged emotion. We're going to, go through fear, grief, and anger. But for you personally, I just want you to know you can focus on, a current situation or something that's unresolved from the past. It might be a memory or unresolved pain or hurt, something like that. And we're going to be using our fingertips to tap the meridians. So we've already identified what we're going to focus on, and then we'll use a setup statement. So the setup statement acknowledges what we're going to work on, let's say grief, and then we follow it up with like a self-affirming acceptance. And when we do that, we honor how we feel rather than like fighting against it or ignoring it or bypassing it. So when we accept where we are and we acknowledge how we feel, then that really opens us up to releasing it. And when we also affirm that we accept ourselves despite like problems we might have or difficult emotions we might feel, it also reaffirms our self-worth. So you'll see the tapping sequence. So I'll probably just kind of show it to you, or I'll model it to you, and then we'll run you through these emotions. And Krista, before I start, are we going to do like 3 times with grief, with fear?
Yeah. You know what I feel like we should do, T, is we'll do grief 3 times, but let's shift it. We'll do grief, sadness, depression.
Oh, got it.
Right.
Okay.
Let's do fear, anxiety, insecurity. Then we'll do grief, sadness, depression, anger, frustration, resentment. How's that?
Yeah, just let me write them down here. Sorry. No, that's a good idea. So it was grief.
I think we should start off doing fear, anxiety, insecurity.
Oh, insecurity. Okay, great.
Then grief, sadness, depression.
Okay.
Anger, frustration, resentment. I think then we cover everybody, and then like layers of an onion, guys. When we go forward the next 3 webinars, I want you to be thinking about these emotions and from this process, so that when you jump into the next ones, you're going to come right with your 3 emotions and the level of intensity. Because when you start, it's like a floodgate, and then the layers of the onion start peeling. And the more we peel, the more we get to the diamond in the center, which is you and your absolute perfection and divinity.
Awesome. So I'll just run through the sequence for tapping. You can use 2 fingers, 3 fingers, or 4. I usually use 2 to 3, depending on how large the area is. And then there's going to be these 9 meridians. And typically you can tap anywhere between 5 and 9 times on each meridian. It kind of depends on how long your statement is. So the first one is going to be the side hand, so that out edge of the hand. And then you're going to go top of your head. And then you're going to go in between, like the beginning of your eyebrows, kind of near the bridge of the nose. And then you're going to follow that brow bone down to the side of your eye. So not on your temples, but the sides of the eye on the bone. And then again, you're going to follow the bone down underneath the eye to that delicate bone underneath the eye. And then you'll go under your nose, which is between your upper lip and nose. And then you'll go to that crease point on your chin. And then the collarbone point, a great way to find it is usually, sorry, I got a crew neck on here, but it's that U-shaped bone at the base of your throat. And usually if you go down an inch and then over an inch, so kind of right there will be your collarbone. Oh, I suppose you can't even see me, can you? So collarbone. And then what you will do is kind of use the width of your hand, and you're going to go underneath your armpit. And so you'll cross your arms and you'll go underneath your arms. Okay. So we're going to do that sequence. It looks like kind of 3 times around fear, then grief, and then anger, those kind of 3 components. And then, so the setup statement will be, even though I feel grief right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And what I always like to say is sometimes people can have resistance to that kind of affirming statement. If you do, you can definitely adjust it. I can put some examples there, like maybe I choose to bring more love or acceptance to myself, or it's time to bring some healing to this, or I'm willing to be more loving and accepting of myself. So let me just kind of put some options if you're resistant to saying I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Let's see, did that work? Did that work? Do you know, Krista, did that work? I don't know. Oh yeah, it's looking like I'm Nicole, but
okay.
It's me.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm just going to move this down so we can read the whole. Yeah, you've got the examples. Okay, so we're happy to be right here to start. And they'll follow you to know the points.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to kind of be looking down just so I'm doing that. Okay. So what we're going to do, let's first do, start out with fear. Okay. So I'm just getting so I follow. So let's start out side of your hand. Even though I feel grief right now, I'm sorry, I have these wrong. Even though I feel fear right now, I deeply and completely and accept myself. Top of your head. Did you want to say something, Krista?
No, I just want to make sure that everybody's like saying this out loud as you say it out loud. It's really important that you don't just repeat it in your head. So make sure you say it out loud, guys.
Okay. So even though I have anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then between the eyebrows, even though I feel fear right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then go towards the side. Even though I feel fear right now, I deeply and completely love myself. Follow it down underneath your eyes. Even though I feel fear right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Underneath the nose. Even though I feel fear right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Crease of the chin. Even though I feel fear right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Collarbone. Even though I feel fear right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then cross your arms, go underneath your arms. Even though I feel fear right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And we're going to do the next one that's related. So anxiety, tapping the side of your hand. Even though I feel anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Top of the head, even anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Beginning of the eyebrows, even though I feel anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Sides of the eyes, even though I feel anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Under the eyes, even though I feel anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the nose, even though I feel anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept. Crease in the chin, even though I feel anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Collarbone, even though I feel anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Cross your arms underneath your, even though I feel anxiety right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Then again, side of the hand, I might feel insecurity right now. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Top of the head, even though I feel insecurity right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Beginning of the eyebrows, even though I feel insecurity right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Sides of the eyes, even though I feel insecurity right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Underneath the eyes, even though I feel insecurity right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the nose, even though I feel insecurity right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Crease in the chin, even though I feel insecurity right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Collarbone, even though I feel insecure right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Cross your arms, even though I feel insecure right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Let's just take a deep breath.
Yes. You feel yourselves yawning or getting tired or just really, that's when you know you're releasing the emotion. Beautiful.
Okay. Should we move to anger sequence next or grief?
Yeah, sure. Let's move to anger.
All right.
It's a very charged emotion.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that one. I know that one.
There's not anyone who hasn't.
All right. So we're going to start tapping at the side of your hand. Even though I feel angry right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Top of the head, even though I feel angry right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Between the eyebrows, even though I feel angry right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Sides of the eyes, even though I feel angry right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the eyes, even though I feel angry right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the nose, even though I feel angry right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Crease in the chin, even though I feel angry right now, I deeply and completely love, accept myself. Collarbone, even though I feel angry right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Cross your arms, even though I feel angry right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Back to your hand. Frustration. Even though I feel frustration or frustrated right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Top of the head, even though I feel frustrated right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Between the eyebrows, even though I feel frustrated right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Side of the eye, even though I feel frustrated right now, I deeply and completely and accept myself. Down below the eyes, even though I feel frustrated right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the nose, even though I feel frustrated right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Crease of the chin, even though I feel frustrated right now, I deeply and completely love and accept. Collarbone, even though I feel frustrated right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Cross your arms, even though I feel frustrated right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All right. And we're going to do resentment or resentful. So even though I feel resentful right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Top of the head, even though I feel resentful right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Between the eyebrows, even though I feel resentful right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Sides of the eye, even though I feel resentful right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the eye, even though I feel full right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. The crease, even though I feel resentful right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Collarbone, even though I feel resentful right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Cross your arms, even though I feel resentful right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay. Let's take a deep breath. I know we got one more sequence, but just let's take a deep breath in. Maybe do a deep exhale throughout your solar plexus. And then let's do our last sequence of grief, sadness, and depression. So even though I'm grieving right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm grieving right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Between the eyebrows, even though I'm grieving right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Sides of the eye, even though I'm grieving right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Down below the eyes, even though I'm feeling grief right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the nose, even though I'm feeling grief right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. The crease of the chin, even though I'm grieving right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Collarbone, even though I'm feeling grief right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Cross your arms, even though I feel grief right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Then we'll do sadness. So even though I'm feeling sad right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling sad right now, sorry, got distracted with top of the head. Even though I'm feeling sad right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Between the eyebrows. Even though I'm feeling sad right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Sides of the eye. Even though I'm feeling sad right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the eyes. Even though I'm feeling sad right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the nose, even though I'm feeling sad right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Crease of the chin, even though I'm feeling sad right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Collarbone, even though I'm feeling sad right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Cross your arms, even though I'm feeling sad right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then we'll do, or maybe feeling depressed. So side of the hand, even though I'm feeling depressed right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Top of the head, even though I'm feeling depressed right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Beginning of the eyebrows, even though I'm feeling depressed right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Sides of the eye, even though I'm feeling depressed right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the eyes, even though I'm feeling depressed right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Below the nose, even though I'm feeling depressed right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Crease of the chin, even though I'm feeling depressed right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Collarbone, even though I'm feeling depressed right now, I'm deeply and completely love and accept myself. Cross your arms, even though I'm feeling depressed right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So just,
Really good.
hand on your heart, hand on your belly, and just take a breath.
So let's look at the positive emotions now that we want to bring in. Okay, so we're over here, and there's a few, right, under happy, thankful, trusting, comfortable, content, excited, relaxed, relieved, elated. So now what I want you to do is I want you to list 3 emotions, and they could be any one of hundreds of emotions. So 3 emotions that you want to feel on a more consistent basis. I'm going off camera, and thank you for leading us.
Okay. So we'll do, I guess, 3 rounds. Maybe we'll do trust first, and then love, and then confidence. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll start at the side of your hand. Even though I've had this grief, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel trust.
Calming down, and I give myself permission to feel trust.
You're on microphone.
Oh, you're hearing me. Oh. You know I'm following along, right?
Yes, exactly. All right, top of your head. Even though I've had this grief, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more trust. Eyebrows, even though I've had this grief, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more trust. Sides of the eye, even though I've had this grief, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more trust. Below the eyes, even though I've had this grief, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more trust. Below the nose, even though I've had this grief, calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more trust. Crease of the chin, even though I've had this grief, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more trust. Collarbone, even though I've had this grief, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more trust. And then cross your arms, even though I've had this grief, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more We'll go to the next one. Even though I've had this fear, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more love. Top of the head. Even though I've had this fear, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more love. The brows, between the brows. Even though I've had this fear, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more love. Sides of the eye. Even though I've had this fear, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more love. Below the eyes. Even though I've had this fear, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more love. Crease of the chin. Even though I've had this fear, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more love. Collarbone. Even though I've had this fear, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more love. Cross your arms. Even though I've had this fear, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more love. Now we'll do anger and confidence. So start at the sides of your hand. Even though I've felt this anger, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more confidence. Top of the head. Even though I've had this anger inside, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more confident. Between the brows. Even though I've had this anger, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more confidence. Sides of the eye. Even though I've had this anger, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more confidence. Below the eyes. Even though I've had this anger, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more confidence. Crease of the chin. Even though I've had this anger, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more confidence. Collarbone. Even though I've had this anger, it's calming down, and I have permission to feel more confident. And then cross your arms. Even though I've had this anger, it's calming down, and I give myself permission to feel more confident. Just take a couple of deep breaths. Kind of feel breathing in more trust, self, more love for yourself, and feeling more powerful and confident.
Thank you. You are an amazing leader. What I love so much about Tammera, she's one of my closest friends, but she's also one of 3 healers that I trust with my energy and my process, is that doing release work can be kind of traumatic if you've ever done somatic work. But Tammera comes with so much grace and so much compassion, which is like a soothing balm along the whole way. So thanks for the way you show up and your humility with as seasoned as you are, as many people as you've helped, and as skilled as you are. You know, you're really such a unicorn, and I'm grateful to be doing this with you.
Oh, thank you, Krista. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. We are going to send out the replay. I know a lot of people didn't get to be here real time, but this is something that I hope you come back to time and time again, that you use the handout and work through your emotions. There's never been a more important time in history to do so. If you don't do this work, right, things will continue to get more intense for people who have swept things under the rug. Things will continue to get lighter and more beautiful for people who do this kind of work to face their emotions and raise their vibration. And so we want to be your biggest cheerleaders and supporters in your ascension process, in living your best life. If you are vibrating at a high emotion, right? Like when they look at the studies of people when they're in love, you get so much nerve regeneration the first year when you fall in love. So why don't we fall in love with ourselves, right? You will naturally make healthier food choices. You will naturally stabilize your blood sugar. You will naturally find, your thyroid, your adrenals, your hormone code finds its own natural rhythm. And so, I'm really grateful for all of you. We are launching a 3-part series to dive much deeper into this work, creating emotional mastery from within, that we're going to be launching. It's going to be a paid series that we're launching to our entire tribe. There's going to be recommended reading and shorter things, but things to watch. So we're going to spend 6 weeks building off of this emotional resilience, building off of expanding our light, expanding our love with grace, and holding ourselves differently, holding space for others differently, holding power differently, really working on boundaries, right? Because you can be in this really calm space right now, and like the most dangerous thing we do is go interact with other human beings, because they're all their own emotional planet, right? And so to help you stay and remain self-contained, judicious and discerning about who you share your energy with, because energy truly is the new currency. But use this, keep this, and know we're thinking about you, and we're really holding space for everything that you want, and that we see you, we fully see you, and we're a community, and we're all here together to, raise the vibe, tribe. Okay. All right. Take a nap, relax, write in your journal after you watch this. Just do something that feels supportive and let go of any shoulds. The dishes can wait. The emails can wait. Just give yourself some space. And we're sending you a lot of love. Bless all of you, wherever you are in the world. Thank you, Tammera.
Right. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. See
Thank
you
you,
soon.
everyone.